Hello, my beautiful viewers. So I interrupt my series of very, very heavy readings. I'm touching on some very heavy topics at the moment. I interrupt that with a more light-hearted short video. So I know I did say that I was going to be doing a reading on children, actually. So the last couple of nights I've had some very, very deep chats with Jesus. And there's a lesson he actually gave me a lesson plan and all, and I was hoping to do that today, but I'm just still not feeling well enough to tackle that kind of content with my face on camera. So I'm sorry, Diane. I know I told you I'd be showing my face today. I do really intend to show it tomorrow. It's just this particular full moon. So we've had a full moon since Thursday. It's now Monday. It's still full, and it's really doing a number on me. Now, please understand that's not a complaint. It's hard to really articulate how it makes me feel, but essentially it kind of makes me feel my crown chakra is being activated so much. It's like I feel like my head's imploding and exploding at the same time, and it's a very, very odd feeling. It's not a headache. I can't really explain it. I've never had it before. It's not dizziness either. It's just, a lot of incoming messages at the moment, and there's so much going on up there that I just feel very discombobulated, and my eyes are particularly sensitive to the light at the moment as well. So I'm kind of walking around in sunnies, and I didn't want to do a reading in my sunnies. So yes, what you have here is, this is a house coat. I'm not going to try, and I thought if I maybe lay it out flat, it might not look like a house coat. But it is. It's my house coat. It was gifted to me because I love astronomy, in case you can't tell. But it's also in honor of my beautiful son who just went back to school today. He was very jet lagged, so I couldn't send him back until he was ready. But he spent the entire 20-minute car trip on the way to school asking me all sorts of questions about astronomy. And I love that. He barely takes a breath. It's just one after the other. It is glorious. I thought I was okay but with this topic, but no, I'm not. I really need to start doing some more research, which excites me. And that brings me to today's quick message. So it is about curiosity. Now, last night, as I went to bed, I pretty much passed out, as I have for the last few nights. And I said to Jesus after he had spoken to me about this lesson that I'm going to do, and it's regarding our children and how we need to protect them from entities, dark entities. I said, what if I don't have the energy for it tomorrow, And so then he said to me that I can do a little short one today. And he started off by saying, you never lose. Oh, so he said, you never reach thermal equilibrium. And then I pretty much understood very, very quickly. And then we continued to have a chat about it. But yeah, I understood that one. Sometimes I don't understand what he's saying straight off the bat, but this one I did. So I have done a reading on thermal equilibrium quite some time ago. I believe it was the one that's called Soul Ties and Old Blue Eyes. So please, if this interests you, go back and watch that, because I don't want to go and re-explain something that I've already explained. But it is, what's different this time though, is that in that particular reading, I was discussing thermal equilibrium as it affects a couple, or even just, people who are in any kind of relationship, be it a friendship or a work relationship, whatever it is, a family situation, just when there's no more, and he uses Sean Carroll, who I love, uses the example of a coffee, yeah? So you add the coffee, you add the cream, and then, they affect each other's temperature. And eventually they reach a point where they're not going to mix anymore. They've mixed as much as they can, and it sort of cools, and that's the temperature that it's going to remain at. There'll be no more meaningful change to that cup of coffee, and it's called thermal equilibrium. There is actually discussions about what happens to this in black holes, which I may touch on someday, but I have to be very careful that I fully understand the science behind it before I do that. But in this particular instance, he was referring to thermal equilibrium within yourself. And I had not thought of that concept at all before. And it is fascinating, isn't it? Because what Jesus is saying is that I never actually reached that point where my coffee is no longer changing. It's always changing. I'm always adding new information. I'm always adding something to that cup of coffee because I'm always learning. And that comes from a curiosity that just does not die. And that's the inner child. Yes, it's this constant desire to know. And you know, somebody who has reached, and many people do, and you'll see them, they reach thermal equilibrium. They reach that point where they feel they've seen enough, heard enough, know enough. Yeah, and they don't want any more information, and they kind of consider it a burden. And you'll know because you might start a conversation with them, and they kind of want to cut it short and you know, discuss something a little bit more mundane. You know, they'll be the people who say, and I know actually a couple of people who say, I don't need to travel. I've seen everything I need to see. Once you've been to one country, really, you've seen them all. Slight differences, but you know, people are people. That's lovely. So that's thermal equilibrium right there. But yes, it's really, really important to maintain your curiosity. Yeah, that keeps you dynamic. So if the idea of thermal equilibrium interests you, please go back and watch my reading called Soul Ties and Old Blue Eyes. And if it isn't that one, it's the one that's called Why Does Telepathy Exist? It's one of those two. And I have a feeling I actually stuffed it up now because I haven't planned this reading before hitting record. I have a feeling I may have gotten something wrong in the explanation, but it's okay. You can go and watch the original one I did. I was more in the zone then. So basically what's happened is I've dropped my son off to school, and my youngest is with his dad just for, you know, a very, very short period, but he's coming back to me. So I'm kind of in a bit of a hurry with this one. So I pretty much just grabbed my nightie and yeah, I hit record. So now look, for those of you who are a little bit miffed that I'm not showing my face, I've got these cards, okay? Now, I wasn't asked to do the cards. I'll be honest with you about that. It's just that I know it's, you know, a little bit much to expect you to just listen to a voice for, what are we now, 7 minutes, and then that's it. So we got to do something visual for you. And I have a feeling that the astronomy nightie is probably not quite going to do it. So, yeah, let's see. I haven't meditated either, but I'm going to give this a go and hope for the best. All right. Okay. That doesn't sound very hopeful at all, does it? All right. Who knows? It might blow your mind. All right. Let's get a card for you and see what the universe has to say. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I have told you these are very hard to shuffle because they're quite big. Oh, wow. This is the same card that came up in my last reading, which I just posted. Now, why are you bringing that card up again? It is interesting, though. I will say, I wonder if this is what they want me to say. So the last reading I did finish with this, and they also had the heart chakra card, Angel Raphael. And what I said was that it's a time to really connect with people from your heart space. And interestingly, as I was falling asleep last night, I was shown this card again. And I was reminded of the fact that it actually came true for me as well. So do bear in mind that these messages apply to me as well as for you. I got this, and then yes, the next day, indeed, I went to a party and had such a wonderful time in which I did connect to many people from the heart space, and some people who I hadn't previously, people that I sort of maybe kind of have avoided in the past. And I noticed a lot of people were actually sort of coming towards me to have quite meaningful chats. So this actually was, yeah, it did come true. But is that all you want me to say about it? Oh, now we got Angel Gabriel. So last time we had this card with Angel Raphael. Today we have it with Angel Gabriel. And yes, it's about, I mean, he rules the throat chakra, communication. So yes, it's about speaking clearly and honestly. That's actually a really beautiful message, yeah? Very similar message to the other day. The other one was speaking from the heart. This is speaking clearly and honestly, but that's the same thing, really, isn't it? Okay, well, we do one more. I'm so sorry these are so hard to shuffle, but this is my favorite deck because it's the Akashic Records deck. 1, 2, 3, and it's not going to be about some silly love triangle or storyline. All right, one more, please, universe. Watch me struggle through this. The struggle is real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You really wanted to come out, didn't you? I'm really drawn to you. What are you? Adsum. Okay, so this is about, this is, can you see, I did show this one the other day as well. Can you see that angel is speaking to that woman? Yeah, giving her information. So yes, this is essentially what's been happening to me the last, since Thursday. Yeah, so the last 4 nights, this is what's been happening to me. And that's why the crown chakra gets so impacted that you can't see my face. But we will do one more. We will do, reflection. Okay, I think we will leave it there now. I always say I never know when to finish this. Look, that's what they're saying. The full moon. Yeah, I've been talking about the full moon. Reflection. Yes. There has been so much going on. I'd be very curious to know if some of you are feeling it as well. But yes, it's been a very, very intense full moon for me, which is why you haven't got my face again. But the information that you're going to receive is going to be far more invaluable. I promise you that. Okay, and thank you so much to the lovely lady who's just found my channel who said she appreciates my singing. I appreciate you saying that. Always take the time to say something if you have something nice to say to somebody. Please do. I wish you all a great day, and please keep on learning.